Happy Tip Tuesday, golfers. We're back in the 3D motion capture studio. Today we're talking about backswing sequence and winding up from the top with the arm swing and the upper body kind of controlling the motion. Here we go. Ooh, that was a stinger, Jake.
Good shot.
Okay, so we want to talk about how the upper body and arm swing, especially at the start of the swing, Jake, kind of starts the swing and sets everything in motion. We allow those hips and knees to react, but they don't really want to be the major player. So can you bring me up to that 9 o'clock position when the club is parallel to the ground?
Yeah, we've got you at waist high right here.
Okay, so from a top view, isn't that interesting? So Jake, those are all based on a 180 number. So just give me approximates of where I am there right now. I hope I've turned my chest quite a bit more than my hips.
Yeah, so the blue line, your shoulder turn, is turned about 33 degrees at this point.
Not bad.
Your hips are turned about 20 degrees. They're actually turned 19 degrees.
Yeah.
And your knees are turned about 3 degrees at this point.
Yeah, so that's lovely. I like the way the upper body is opening up the backswing. I'd like to see a little more chest turn right now. I've got to work on my flexibility, but I certainly don't want to move my legs and my hips around more to try to get me around. So, you know, Jake, I talk to you often about that old Pete Cowan tip with the spiral staircase, and the visuals are great here. Let's bring me up another sequence here, and you start to see these numbers and colors change, the blue line, the red line, and the purple line. So when I'm chest high, what are these numbers?
So when you're chest high, you're now turned about 55 degrees in this case. Your hips are turned about 32, and your knees are turned about 8 degrees. So what we're seeing is a sequential climb that's occurring as your shoulders and chest are leading the turn. And that should make sense to everybody. If you think about it, by the time you're at the top of your backswing, your shoulders need to be turned more than your hips and more than your knees. So if they were turning at the same rate, that wouldn't be possible.
Yeah, I like that. You know, we're winding the spring. The upper body is turning, the mid body is reacting, the legs are stabilizing and reacting as we're loading the weight to the inside of that back foot. So there's our spiral staircase, Jake. I was a little early with that, but blue, red, and purple looks like 3 stairs climbing up. And what are my numbers at the top? Considering I'm in my late 50s, so what do you think of these numbers, kid?
That's pretty good. So we've got 90 degrees of shoulder turn approximately. I think that's right on point of where you want to be. Your hips are turned about 46 degrees.
That's a little too much.
And your knees are turned about 12. Yeah, look, it's a little more hip turn than we would see with tour pros who turn their shoulders this amount. But I think it's a really good example of sequencing and making sure that the amount of turn you are looking for is dependent on your physical limitations.
Yeah, what I like is the separation between the shoulder turn, the hip turn, and the knees. It all looks like it's balanced and athletic, right? And it looks like I've turned in sequence. So those are really good numbers.
Agreed. Couldn't agree more. I think, for a lot of golfers, we're looking for that 90 degree or close to it shoulder turn. You're looking for about a 45 degree hip turn and about a 15 degree knee turn. If you're capable of turning your hips a similar amount and your chest a little more, that's great. But we're looking for that climbing effect more than anything.
Great job today. So there it is, everyone. Your backswing is kind of controlled a little more by the arm swing, the body turn. The lower body reacts but stabilizes. Get yourself really athletic at the top and you'll play better golf.